guys, how you doing? This is Manga etc. and I'm here today to bring you the review for the two fairy tale chapters that came out today. That's 429 and 430. I will just be throwing both the reviews into one nice sweet video, so if you haven't read both chapters yet, you might just want to pause the video then come back to it in a bit. So going into 429, that was a nice chapter. It starts off with Lucy, Natsu, and Happy, and they're still chained up in the cell somewhere. And that guy that's always making the tea puns, he comes down and he's basically here to find out who sent them, but Natsu's not giving him the answer he wants. So he's like, "All right, torture time." And he goes to torture Lucy, and he's talking about all these perverted different ways to torture her, like torture by whip, torture by licking of the soles of your feet, and there's some other ones as well, some water torture or something like that, bondage torture. He's just talking about all these different perverted ways to torture her, and that's what Lucy and Natsu and Happy, that's what they're saying to him, is like, "Why are you so perverted?" It's mostly Lucy saying this, "Why are you so perverted?" And then he goes on to explain, "No, this is real torture. I'm going to dip." He goes on to explain the feet one. He goes into say, "I'm going to dip your water in salt water, and then the goat's going to come and lick them until the salt is licked off, and then his tongue will get dry, and he will continue to lick, and that will make your feet bleed." And then they get to realize, wow, this is some serious torture he's talking about. Like, ooh, I don't know, because before this, Natsu was like, "Pick the feet one because it doesn't sound like it'll hurt too much." But the guy who's making the tea puns, he goes on to explain, and he's like, and they realize, right, like, this guy's serious. So this guy who makes the tea puns, he's still trying to find out who sent them, and Natsu's not giving them the answer. So he goes, "All right, fine," and then he goes to chop Lucy in half with an axe. And he says he goes to chop her with an axe. And that's when Gray comes in and he freezes him, and he saves them. So we find out that Gray's not really on the dark side. He's been working undercover, and who's he been working undercover with? He throws a phone to Natsu. Natsu speaks on the phone. At the very end of the chapter, we find out that Gray all along has been working with Elsa. And that was the end of that chapter. Moving on to chapter 430, which was a bit more meaty, we find out why Elsa was working with Grey, and that's because Elsa was asked a year and a half ago from Jael. I butchered his name, I know, but she was asked by him, the guy that looks like Mr. Gunn. You know who I'm talking about. Elsa's love interest. You know who I'm talking about. Stop going on like you don't know who I'm talking about. But anyway, he asked her to look into Avatar for him. So she's been doing that. And as she was starting to run out of leads, that's when she bumped into Grey. And that's when they spoke. And through Elsa asking Grey and Grey's own interests, they decided to team up to infiltrate Avatar. And then that's when Happy I think it was Happy, it was either Happy or Natsu, that's when they asked, "So why didn't you tell Juvie about this?" And then we go on to find out that it's because Elsa told Grey not to tell her. So in order to keep the number of people who knows about the mission to the minimum, in order to keep her safe, basically, along them lines. And we also find out that how this wasn't supposed to take this long. It started off with just as a mission to get intel on Avatar from the inside, but they started to hear talks about this Operation Purification. So it went from an intel mission to finding out a way to stop this operation. And that's when Natsu asks, "Why couldn't you and Elsa just take everybody out? You're more than capable to do that." And that's when we find out that how that Avatar is not just this small little group of people that we've been introduced to. It's small groups from other sides of the world, basically, and like no one knows where all of them are. So it would be impossible to destroy one group and then move on to another because we don't know excuse me, where they all are. So basically Grey and Elsa have waited for this day when they all gathered together in order to stop this operation in one full sweep. We also find out that Grey can now control the mark on his body. He spent some time with the old lady who doesn't like humans, learning how to. He was under her care for the mark, and during this time he must have learned how to control it for himself, basically. The end of the chapter is just basically we have Avatar. They're in this town now, and they're ready to execute Operation Purification, which is basically they're gonna kill this town, and then they think that in killing the town it's gonna draw Zarif to them. That's the whole Operation Purification. That's what they think is gonna happen. So they think because they kill some people, Zarif is going to be drawn to the deaths. Probably, I don't know what the smells of death or what the spirits rising. I hope it's not the smells of death. That's a bit that's a bit creepy. But they think that in killing people that Zarif will come, and that's what. Yeah, they think that Zarif will come, so that's what they're trying to do. So they go to attack this town now, and Natsu and Grey and Lucy and Happy are already there, which was a bit of a shock to me. I thought it was going to be Gadget and Lily that was there ready to attack. But no, it's not. It's Natsu and company. They're already there. They're attacking on one front, and on another front, Elsa's arrived on her horse and she's attacking from another front. And that's how the chapter ends. I do think though that Gadget and Lily and the council army can be coming in attack from a third front. Why not? Didn't Levy just come out of Avatar, and they know what's going on with Operation Purification. So yeah, maybe no, because next chapter by the title I'm guessing it's about Elsa. So maybe not next chapter, but why not the chapter after that? The council then led by Gadget coming on the third front and attack. Why not? It's possible. But anyway, let's move on to the ratings now, guys. Alright, for the first chapter, it was nice and simple, with the shock ending. I'm going to give it a 3.5 star rating. I'm going to give it 3.5 star rating. Only because of the ending, we find out that Grey's not really gone to the dark side, and who's he working with? Bam, Elsa. That was a shock, so I'll give it a 3.5 star rating. For 430, we got a lot of info in this chapter. Find out a lot of things, why Grey left Juvia for so long. How Grey's powered up, basically, because we know that he's learned how to control the mark on his body. What Elsa's been doing for half of the year. We don't know what she was doing before JL asked her to get intel on Avatar, so we don't know what she's been doing. But we do find out a lot of stuff in that chapter, so I'm gonna give that a 4 star rating. And that's it, guys. That's me for today. Tell me what you guys thought of this chapter. Rate my video, comment on my video, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Take care, have a nice day.